So, hi everyone, we are the group 2 and today we're going to discuss about the Mangyan tribes. So, first of all, we're going to tackle about their origin and history, their tradition and culture, the Mangyan society and leadership, and then challenges. And then we're also going to the 8 groups of the Mangyan. So let's start with the Mangyan. So the Mangyans are a significant group of indigenous people here in the Philippines, primarily residing on the Mindoro Island. And the Mangyans they represent an important part of our country's overall indigenous population and cultural heritage. And then for many generations, the Mangyans they live on Mindoro and are maintaining their unique way of life and the deep connection to their ancestral lands and and then to better understand this community we'll explore their historical background and how their identity is organized today. So next we're going to the origin and the history. So their languages belong to the Austronesian language family. So the Mangyan people who live in the island of Mindoro in the Philippines, they speak languages that are part of the Austronesian language family. However, even though they belong to the same major family of the language, various Mangyan subgroups or the 8 groups like the Hanunu, Halangan, or Iraya, they speak languages that are mutually unintelligible. So it means that a person from one Mangyan group generally cannot understand a person from the other group when they're speaking their native languages. Next, the Mangyan. Mangyans are indigenous people living in the Mindoro Islands. So, as we know, the Mangyans are originally home. The Mangyan was along the coastal lines of Mindoro. However, historical events forced them to relocate in effort to avoid conflict with the foreign settlers such as the Spanish during the colonial era. The Mangyan to chose to reside to they gradually moved inland and ascended into the islands of mountain highlands. This strategic retreat allowed them to preserve their traditional way of life, cultural practices, and ancestral domains, protecting them from the outside interference. Now, today, the term Mangyan is not a single tribe, but rather an umbrella term used to describe the 8 distinct ethno-linguistic groups. While they are collectively referred to as Mangyan, so the each group they maintain their own unique language and they have their own cultural traditions. And this group spread across Mindoro from the north to south island. And those 8 groups include Iraya, Alangan, Kadyawan, Tawid, Bangon, Buhid, Hanunuo, and Ratagnon. And later we'll be discussing them specifically with the place, their name, origin, and arts and crafts. Next is they are known to be the first Filipino traders. So before the Spanish arrived in the Philippines in the 16th century, the Mangyan people or of the Mindoro Island were not isolated, but were active participants in a regional trade network. So they are historically known to have engaged in trades with the Chinese for centuries. And then actually it is strongly supported by the archaeological evidence excavations where they have found numerous artifacts that are clearly not indigenous to the island, and they find large quantities of Chinese porcelain and pottery. So they're first Filipino traders. Next will be discussing the tradition and their culture. So traditional practice known for their use of Sweden agriculture or kainin. So the Mangyan tribes support themselves through subsistence living, which means they farm, they hunt, and gather their food. They are known for their use of the Sweden agriculture, the kainin, where they temporarily clear the forest areas to grow the crops like rice, and then hunting and gathering herbs and wild foods are also important. Their methods are sustainable and show their deep connection to the environment. And then we have the traditional attire. So for the Mangyan people, traditional clothing is designed to be useful for in their environment, with men wearing the simple clothes and women wearing woven skirts and blouses. They use accessories like beads and shells to decorate them. Most importantly, their attire is a form of cultural expression. The designs and patterns on their clothes, they often carry meanings and signaling their clan, their status, and personal story. So the clothes are important for both daily life and for their ceremonies. Next, we'll be discussing the eight distinct ethno-linguistic group of the Mangyan.
Let's begin with the Iraya Mangyan. The name Iraya comes from the word Ilaya, which means upland or upstream. That's why they're called the people of the upland, since they live in the mountainous areas of northern Mindoro, particularly in next please. They live particularly in Abra de Ilog, Mamburao, and Caluan in occidental Mindoro, in parts of Puerto Galera and Paco in oriental Mindoro. Next. So the Ariraya are widely known for their Lito basket shoes, intricately woven baskets made from the glossy dark brown wool. Their designs vary unique and artistic patterns where it symbolizes the river or life's journey. The diamonds represent balance and protection, and the cross-hatch design stands for unity and connection. Their products include bayong baskets, tampipi storage boxes, and round containers with lids. Aside from this, Iraya women also weave plant fibers such as abaca, guri, and pandan to create banig, sleeping mats, and guri baskets. The Iraya is also crafts beautiful ornaments like the kudu, a bracelet made from glass beads and shells, believed to bring good fortune and protection. In music, they play the kudyaki, a two-stringed wooden lute made from nara or dogwood. It's often used in courtship and rituals, symbolizing communication, love, and peace through music. Next. The next tribe is the Alangan Malayang tribe. So their name origin, their name comes from the Alangan River and the mountain range where they live in northern central Mindoro. Next, please. So their place is considered they are considered one of the oldest Mangyan groups, mainly residing in Paco um, Nau, Nauhan, San Teodoro, Victoria, and Socorro. So next please. So in their arts and crafts, the Alangan are skilled in basketry, producing items such as kaing, bayong, and tampipi. Next please. Their traditional clothing includes the lingeb, a skirt for women, and the ulango, an upper covering made from buri palm. So next is the tulali. It is the six-fold bamboo flute that creates a soft, mellow tone, often used in courtship and rituals. Next. They also use the subing, a bamboo jaw harp, which produces a quiet, vibrating sound, considered the most personal instrument because it expresses emotion and love. Next. Next is the pangid, a beaded necklace worn by both men and women. It symbolizes beauty, identity, and spirituality, and is often worn during rituals or special occasions. For the Alangan, wearing pangid shows gratitude to nature and to their creator, mahal na makaak. Next. Next is the Tajawan Mangyan. Their name origin. Their name comes from the word Tajaw, which means to see or to be visible. This is why they're sometimes called the visible people living in the eastern and northeastern parts of Mindoro. Next, please. So they live especially in Paco, Naupan, Pola, and Socorro. They live near mountain slopes and near river valleys in houses on stilts, moving when the soil becomes less fertile. Next. So moving to the arts and crafts, the Tajawan are highly skilled in basketry, crafting items like basiking, a backpack basket used by men to carry crops, and danigo, a shallow round tray used for winnowing rice. Next. So their traditional clothing includes the paypay for the upper garment, the lati as a female skirt, and the abay, a G-string worn by men. Men also wear a putong, a beaded or woven headband that signifies respect, status, and readiness during rituals or dances. Next. Moving on to the wood carvings, the Jawan is also known for carving anito figures from sacred wood such as molave or kamago, representing ancestor spirits, nature spirits, and household guardians. So before carving, they offer prayers to ask permission from the spirit of the tree. These figures are placed in rituals altars called dalanan, where offerings like rice wine, betel nut, or cooked food are given as thanks or for protection. So that's all for the Tajawan Nyan tribe.
So next is we have Tambuid tribe. The name of their origin comes from their own word, meaning people or human beings. It reflects their strong sense of identity and connection to their to their community and way of life. In the past, lowlanders called them Batangan because they use batangan or logs to cross rivers. However, they prefer to be called Tambuid as it symbolizes respect for their culture and heritage. And for their place, the Tambuid um, tribe mainly lives in the central highlands of Mindoro, especially in Sablayan and Occidental Mindoro, as well as part of Socorro and Bansud in Oriental Mindoro. They live in mountainous and forested areas where they practice kaingin or slash and burn farming, cultivating rice, roots crops, and bananas for daily sustenance. Their communities are small and scattered, valuing close family and kinship ties. Next po. Next po. For their arts and crafts naman, the Taubid people are very skilled in weaving and basket making. They use natural materials like rattan, nito, and bamboo to create durable and functional items such as baskets, mats, and storage containers. Their designs are simple but symbolic, often inspired by nature. They also craft hand-woven clothing, accessories, and beaded ornaments that reflect their artistry and craftsmanship. Next po. Uh, for the Bangon tribe, for the name origin, the name Bangon is believed to have come from Bangon River in Bangabong, Oriental Mindoro, where their ancestors once lived. The word Bangon also means rising or standing up, symbolizing the tribe, symbolizing the tribe's resilience and strength, and preserving their culture despite modernization. Next po. And further place, the Bangon tribe lives in the eastern part of Mindoro, particularly Bungabong, Bansod, and Gloria. They stay near in riverbanks and forested areas, depending on farming and fishing of their livelihood. They plant upland, rice, corn, and root crops. Their houses are usually built from bamboo and nipa, raised on stilts to protect from floods and wild animals. Next po. So we have arts and crafts. The Bangon are known for their craftsmanship in weaving and basketry. They use natural materials like vines, rattan, and bamboo to create baskets, trays, mats, and hats. They also make traditional attire and colorful beadwork using natural dyes. These crafts are not only useful but also reflect their cultural identity, often used in rituals and community gatherings. Next po. Lastly, we have a Buhid tribe. The name origin. The word Buhid means mountain dwellers or people of the mountains, showing their connection to nature and forests that support their way of life. The Buhid people are proud of their identity and traditions, which have been passed down through generations. Next po. Their place, the Buhid tribe lives in the southern parts of Mindoro, especially in Rojas, Mansalay, and Bungabong in Oriental Mindoro. They stay in remote mountainous areas where they grow rice, bananas, and roots crops using traditional farming methods. Their villages are small and self-sufficient, and they value cooperation and respect for elders. Next po. For their arts and crafts naman, the Buhid are best known for unique writing system called the Buhid script, which is one of the few remaining pre-colonial script in the Philippines. Aside from this, they also engage in weaving bamboo crafts and basket making. They produce woven mats, traditional clothing, and bamboo tools. Music and art are also important to them. They create bamboo instruments like flutes and jaw harps used in storytelling and ritual.
And now for the Hanunumangyan, the name and origin of the Hanunumangyan are uh, means true or pure or genuine. They are a Mangyan group on Mindoro Island, and the name reflects their desire to emphasize their identity as the true Mangyan people. The term Mangyan itself is a generic term for the indigenous people of Mindoro, and Hanunu is a specific name for this particular group. Next is their location. Next po. The Hanunanongan people are primarily located at the southeastern part of Mindoro Island in the Philippines. They have historically lived in seclusion, but due to migration, they have moved further inland into the forest areas of the island. Next, for their arts and crafts, the Hanunanongan are known for their intricate weaving, also known as ramit, is a traditional textile created by the Hanunamangyan people of Oriental Mindoro. It is characterized by its intricate geometric patterns, often featuring stripes and symbols the like the minatahan or the eyes of bird for protection. The weaving is done on a harablon or a backstrap loom, and the craft is a vital part of their cultural heritage, with the textiles historically worn by women as skirts. So next is the Ratagnon Manyan. The Ratagnon Manyan's name or origin doesn't specifically have a clear translation, but they are also known as the Tatagnon or the Latagnon. The name is primarily used as an ethno-linguistic identifier for one of the eight indigenous Mangyan groups in Mindoro who reside in the southern tip of Occidental Mindoro. So their specific location, next po. Their specific location, the Ratagnon people are specifically located in the southernmost tip of Mindoro Island, primarily in the southern part of Occidental Mindoro, including the municipalities of Magsaysay and San Jose. Some sources also mention their presence in the southern tip of Oriental Mindoro, specifically the municipality of Bulalakaw. And for their arts and crafts, for the arts and crafts naman of the Ratagnon Manyan, the Ratagnon Manyan are known for their woven items like by using local materials such as nito or forest vine, rattan, and cotton. Their key woven items include women breast covering traditionally made of woven nito vine, red dyed rattan coils worn by both men and women around their waistlines as a distinctive accessory, and men's jackets worn during special festives and features simply embroidery. And lastly is container baskets. Like other Mangyan groups, they use various woven containers for carrying items like betel chew. That's
For the Mangyan Society and leadership, the Mangyan Society is an organized and harmonious community guided by the tradition and respect. At the center of their society structure is the Dato. The Dato is the head of the Mangyan community who settles disputes and guides the people in their daily lives. He is respected for his wisdom, fairness, and ability to maintain peace and unity among the members. Next is elders or council, advisors to the dato, help helping in decision making and preserving the tribe's custom and traditions. They are respected members of the community who guided others through their wisdom and experience. And next is the community members, or what they call kamangyan. The ordinary members, called kamangyan, follow the tribe's custom and take part in community work. They cooperate with one another to support the needs and harmony of the whole community. Next is for the challenges of Mangyan people. For the challenges of Mangyan people, the first one is the loss of ancestral land. Many Mangyan communities are losing their ancestral lands to logging, mining, and lowland settlers. This destroys their forest and threatens their way of life. The next one is poverty and lack of basic needs. Most Mangyan family live in poverty and have limited access to food, clean water, health care, and education because they live in remote mountain areas. And the third one is discrimination and social exclusion. The Mangyan are often looked down upon or treated unfairly by outsiders, making it hard for them to interrogate into society or find opportunities outside. And the last one is loss of culture and traditions. As more modernization spreads, many young Mangyan are forgetting their native languages, writing, and customs, which weakens their cultural identity. These challenges threatens not only their way of life, but also the preservation of their identity and heritage.
Now, for the conclusion, the Mangyan people of Mindoro teaches us that staying true to your culture is a powerful strength, as they chose to move high into the mountains to protect their unique ways of life from outsiders. Because of this choice, they still keep a very old tradition, and from this, the Mangyan shows us to be strong and resilient by keeping their heritage alive and providing that all traditions are valuable and treasures that must be protected. And that is all for Group 2 from the Mangyan tribe. Thank you for listening.